Morning, morning, morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday. It is the 2022 version of June the 1st. And you're back here with me, Sean Butler, at the Spurs Talk Show alongside my co-host for these Tottenham walks, Bugsy Malone. Where is she? She's somewhere. She's somewhere. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Ladies and gentlemen, just want to take a single moment to big up the Tottenham community who rallied around Spurs TV yesterday, all the way through until literally 10 minutes ago. 24-hour live stream in aid of the NHS. It was a wonderful, wonderful event, and Spurs just let me know, or let us know on the show as it came to an end, that he did hit his target of over £1,000. He made the 24 hours, and you know what, just seeing how many people from the community jumped in to support him throughout the night, throughout the day, yesterday and this morning. It's an amazing community that we have in the Tottenham space. I don't watch other communities online for football, but I can't imagine that there's any that are more engaging and supportive to one another than we have got at the Tottenham side of things. So big up to all of you guys who joined Bobby. Big up to everyone in the comments that was on there. There was like 100 people watching literally all the time for 24 hours. Absolutely insane support. Big up to everyone that donated for him. And of course, big up to Bobby himself for the stamina it takes to get through 24 hours. It's not easy. Not easy at all. I'll put the links in the description if you want to go and check out any of the 3 segments of the show, and also his PayPal address where the donations can be sent. And let's see if we can get some latent donations to boost that figure up before he goes and gives it to the wonderful people at the Princess Alexandria Hospital. Anyway, so what's going on with Tottenham, eh? What is going on? Well, yesterday, Ivan Perisic was signed, officially held the shirt. He gave his interview with Spurs TV saying, "Come on, you Spurs." And in his quotes that were shared on Twitter, he was saying, morning guys, he was saying it was a tough decision to leave Inter, but he wanted to fulfill his dream of playing in the Premier League, and he's here ready to help. He can play in several different positions in the Conte system, which is brilliant to know, isn't it? Brilliant to hear. Versatility is such a key ingredient over an entire season, when in an ideal world you're going to end up playing like 60 games, you know. If we can go deep in 3 tournaments and obviously do well in the Premier League, there'll be injuries, and to have players that can, you know, sometimes you're going to get injuries to 2 key players in the same position, and so to have someone like a Perisic and ideally someone like a Kostic, you know, who can step up and move across. If ever those kind of nightmare scenarios play out, then it's just a wonderful additional strength on top of his already insane attributes and what he can offer us in his, you know, in his abilities on the ball, off it, his goal scoring, his crossing, his stamina, all that despite his age. It's good. It's really good. I think I smoked too much vape last night. I'm out of breath walking. I'm going to have to slow it down. I have to slow it down for my dog as well. So the one thing I would say, during the stream yesterday with Bobby, it came out that everyone got momentarily excited when Bastoni put an Instagram post out saying he's on his way to London in English. And everyone was like, oh shit, that's good news. But Then, of course, everyone was reminded that Italy are over here to play an international game, and so it's unrelated, or probably, you know, almost entirely likely that it's unrelated to Tottenham. And then, I don't know how you would interpret this, but a few hours later he sent a good luck message to Perisic, again on Instagram. He said in Italian, "Good luck, my brother." And I mean, does that tell you, what does that tell you? To me, you don't wish someone good luck if you know that you're going to be joining them, you know. Maybe you do anyway, maybe you would just say good luck anyway, but I feel like if it's good luck, I mean, he didn't go as far to say good luck, I'll miss you, or anything like that, so I wouldn't say there's anything concrete in it. I'm just trying to read between the lines, trying to figure out if there's an infer or something to infer from that. But I would generally say that if he's wishing someone good luck, it probably means like he's not going to be joining him in the adventure. So I could be reading into it too much, but I would imagine that Bastoni, alongside all the other news that's come out where people close to him have been saying he wants to stay at Inter. But you know what, Inter have got so much involvement in so many big transfers that are likely to happen this summer, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, but I've got to look after the dog for 1 sec. I'll be back. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, so Inter Milan, right? It's going to be pivotal to so many transfers what they end up doing, and here's the skinny on it. So Inter Milan have got massive financial dire straits. I'm sure most of you will be aware of that if you've heard me on the stream before. They need to finish this season with £60 million surplus, or so their president have said, in order to make ends meet. They want to sign Gleison Bremer, but they also, that was the original plan. They didn't want to let go of Lautaro Martinez. They valued Martinez as more pivotal to their squad, their team, than Bastoni. And so those two names were the big names of where they could find that money, right? Where they could sell one, bring in a replacement cheaper, and try to make ends meet. They didn't want to sell Martinez. They wanted to sell Bastoni. And if they did sell Bastoni for 54 million euros, then they would have gone and got Gleison Bremer. And Gleison Bremer has already apparently agreed personal terms with Inter, and he's only getting, I say only, but he's getting like 3.5 to 4 million euros a year, which is about 80,000 euros a week, which is about £65,000, 68,000 pound a week, which is not big money really. Right, it's huge money, but it's not relatively big money for a player of Bremer's quality. And so it was understood that they'd keep Martinez, they would let go of Bastoni and or Skriniar, bring in Bremer, and everything would be good. But the twist in the tail has come along with Romelu Lukaku being surplus to requirements at Chelsea, and him wanting to return to Inter, him saying so a few months ago, and also Dybala leaving Juventus on a free, and his preferred destination is also Inter Milan. So now you've got the situation. And the other factor is that Bastoni has apparently intimated. First of all, there was noise that Tottenham have agreed personal terms with him. Then there was noise that he'd be prepared to go to Tottenham, but kind of wants assurances that Conte is going to be there for more than 1 year, because he wouldn't want to come to Tottenham unless it was to play for Conte. which is fair enough to a degree. But obviously Conte can't give him those assurances, or hasn't yet. And I would imagine that Conte's length of stay at Tottenham is obviously going to be entirely intertwined with how well we do, and how well we do would be largely impacted by whether or not we have a player like Bastoni in the back three. So it's a chicken and the egg, right? And on top of that, Bastoni has said that he would rather not leave Inter anyway, unless he's being asked to go. He loves it there. So, in summary, you have like 5 or 6 different transfers that are all dependent on Inter Milan. What Chelsea will end up doing, who do Chelsea get in? If they want rid of Lukaku, then Lukaku would want to go to Inter. Inter won't pay anything like the 100 million that they got for him. They'll probably do a loan deal. If they did a loan deal and they got Dybala, then they would argue that they're probably stronger up front with those two than they are without those two and with Martinez. So then they would allow Martinez to leave. Maybe Martinez goes in the other direction, to Chelsea. If Martinez leaves, then it's less likely that Bastoni does. And if Tottenham don't get Bastoni, then Tottenham might go after Bremer, as has been quoted by Spurs Web and a few other kind of tier 1, tier 2s, whatever, that are all just nonsense. People that are regurgitating other people's rumours. But can you understand the merry-go-round? It's quite confusing. Now, would you rather have Bremer or Bastoni? Well, of course you'd rather have Bastoni. Bremer plays in a central role anyway, not really on the left. But Tottenham will also maybe go and then change their focus to Gvardiol from Leipzig, who is a massive target for Manchester United, and also Munich. No, forgive me on that one. Munich's Leipzig target is another one that Tottenham are after, which is Konrad Laimer, but we'll talk about that another day. So, we're going to go back. So, it's a weird one. It's interesting, right? It's really interesting. But essentially, in a nutshell, there's so many different transfers that are hinging on what Inter decide to do, where they feel like they're going to get the most value, how they can raise the most money without diluting their squad, and because of certain free transfers that are willing to go there, like Dybala, and certain big players like Lukaku who want to go back there, maybe Martinez is then considered more surplus to requirements than Bastoni. And Tottenham were interested in Martinez as well, right? So, fascinating. Let me know if what I've said makes sense. Let me know if what I have explored with you, if you agree with it or disagree with it. Who would you rather have? You know, Gleison Bremer's not going to cost 55 million, right? But he's a central-sided centre-back. This goes back to my initial point that I was asking last week on my live streams. Would you rather have a replacement for Davies or a replacement for Dyer? Ignoring the quality of the player that comes in, just straight up, if you could get the same quality replacement, would you rather have a back three of Davies, somebody as good as the other guy, and Romero, or would you rather have somebody, Dyer and Romero? And I think personally, I would rather have, if I'm entirely honest, I'd rather replace all three of them. I'd love to get Bastoni and Bremer, or Bastoni and De Vrij, or Gvardiol and De Vrij. And maybe Pau Torres comes back into the fray. You know, the guy who didn't want to play for us last summer because we couldn't offer them Champions League, and then this summer would rather turn us down, who can offer him Champions League, and go to Manchester United instead, who can't offer them Champions League. Strange one to work out. But maybe he comes back into the fray, if we can't get Bastoni. But which would you rather have? If you had to pick one replacement of equal quality, would you rather replace the centre or the left side of the centre backs? Let me know in the comments. Let me know whether you think Bastoni will be the person that moves on, or do you think, given what I've said, if there's any truth to what I've said, that it's more likely and suitable for Inter Milan to let go of Martinez and bring in Dybala and Lukaku on what could look like a free transfer and a loan deal. Fascinating stuff. If Martinez does move on, where does he go? Does he go to Chelsea? Would Tottenham be in for him? Or would Arsenal go in for him? Or Liverpool? I don't think Liverpool will go in for him, actually. Liverpool have got a player on the left, but they might be going after other people. In other news, I'm sure you've heard about it, TalkSport and all the usual Tottenham hating media trying to unsettle our team again this summer, with both rumours that Harry Kane and Sonny are on Liverpool's wish list. Harry Kane just because, and Sonny to replace Sadio Mane. Rumours that if they wanted to take Son, they'd offer us Mane plus, you know, I think it was like, I don't know, 3 other players, some mad amount of good players but not great players. I don't think there's any truth to that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Guys, we are going to go live at 6 PM tonight. I apologise to everyone who was waiting in YouTube for the show to start last night. I cancelled it in StreamYard and I forgot to cancel it in YouTube, so a few people messaged me saying, hey, are you going live? And I wasn't. I was on Bob Spurs. Apologies about that. Make up for it tonight. We're going to go through every single transfer rumour player that we have been linked with this summer, and maybe even going back to January, and we're going to categorise them as whether we think it will happen, whether they're a get at all costs, and if Conte wants him, fine, but I'd rather not, and no way Jose, etc, etc, etc. 6 PM. I haven't yet got a panel together, but I'll find one for the show. I love you all, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Enjoy the first month, or the first day of the month. And as always, guys, like, share and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And as always, guys, as always, oh, bye-bye.